Something that really got me interested in stationery before I really got into it and journaling as a whole was the multitude of variety of different options that you have when it comes to pens, from nib sizes to fountain pens to rollerball pens to color markers and all of that. And the tactile feel and the experience it really gives you, it's very unique. And I'm just like very passionate about just like tactile, like analog things. So today I want to go over my pen collection. What are some of the things that I use on a day-to-day basis, how I use them, and kind of just showcase what I have going on. So let's go into all that stuff right here. So right here, I have my pen collection. I don't use a lot and I'm still kind of growing into them, but some of these pens I've had for a lot of years. Some of these pens I've been using for the last year or so. And some of these I got just in the last couple months and even just like over the weekend, last weekend. If you've seen our vlog video in Chicago, I'll put it right here. You can see the new pen that we're going to talk about today if you don't want any spoilers about that. So, well, first and foremost, let's talk about this pen holder that I have. I don't carry this with me every day. I kind of just keep some of my pens here just at home just so they're not kind of just laying around everywhere. But I got this from Aseismanos from Etsy. It's a local, well, not local for me, but it's a local handcrafting company over in Italy, I believe, or Spain. I'm not quite sure. This is something that I got for my birthday. Melissa gave this to me, and I like the wax canvas feel of it, the leather accents, and then the rope is embossed with my initials. So this is really cool place to kind of just keep my pens. So let's start off with something really cool, which are just like rollerball pens. So I love these Jetstream pens that I have here. I'm just gonna put this to the side. These Jetstream pens are really cool just because they have basically everything that you need. They have a black ink, they have a blue ink, a green ink, a red ink, and a pencil. This is the pure Malt 4-in-1 version. This one actually has some oak wood into it right here. This is kind of just like the green version. This is actually made from old, I want to say whiskey barrels, I think is what they said on the website. I don't quite remember it, but these are really cool. And I actually, before I got into stationery and stuff like that, not that I'm like remembering, like once I bought this pen, is that there was a like 4-in-1. This might have been the same one, just like an older version maybe when I was little that I had that had like a multitude of different color inks. And then I used to write with mechanical pencils a lot. So this actually has a 0.5 millimeter sharp mechanical pencil inside of it. So this one's really cool. It's really fun. I use it for a little bit of everything, but mainly just when I want to write something that's a little bit more finer, a little bit more smaller. When I'm writing into my Hobonichi weeks, my margins tend to be a little bit smaller. So that's what I use this for. And then I have a slightly larger, like 7.1 Jetstream for the Uni brand as well. I really love the way that these feel and the variety like in sizes that they have. It's just a really good brand. It's a really solid brand. I've had this for a while. I think they use kind of just like standard ink cartridges for all of their rollerball pens. I might be wrong on that. Let me know. I even have this like other one that's again another 0.5. I bought this one before I knew that this pure malt one had like a pencil, mechanical pencil thing inside of it. I got this one at Paper and Pencil, and then I got these at my local stationery store. But these are really cool. I use them just whenever I have or have a need for a rollerball pen. I don't want to write on like a fountain pen, believe it or not, every single time. And like I said, it's really, really nice for when you just need to write really small for the margins, especially for like the 0.5. This one is really, really cool, and it's really nostalgic for me just because I remember having one of these that was like deep royal blue when I was little that I used to write a lot in that, and I really enjoy it. So these are the rollerball pens that I have. My wife likes to use these Sarasa or Sarasa dry inks as well. There's like a variety of different ones. There's the Nano, Sarasa dry, and if I can find it, Sarasa Zebra. And these are also really, really nice, especially the Nano. I really like the Nano just because it has a 0.38. So this is still smaller than this 0.5 nib for the rollerball pen. It's very smooth. It writes really, really well. It dries really, really fast. And then again, if you have something smaller, or if you're wanting, again, kind of just something practical, something that you can kind of just toss in your bag, you're not really worried about like a super expensive rollerball pen. These are really, really cool to kind of just write on the super small margins if you're doing like bullet journaling, if you're kind of just like creating graphs for, you know, habit trackers and things like that. I think this would be a really, really cool choice. And she loves Snoopy, so of course this is the Snoopy brand. So I'm gonna put these here that I don't lose them, or she should get mad. Another sort of like mention of a pen that I really use for, again, kind of just like smaller margins, or something that I kind of just keep with my, kind of like my Paper Republic, just like my pocket size one, to write, is this gel ink ball pen by Muji. This one is really, really nice. This one's a 0.5. But again, it glides very, very smooth. I think they have a variety of different sizes for these. You can even use these for like sketching and highlighting, like over like pencil marks and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure you can use these for that. You can use all of these for whatever you want, but this is another one of those choices that I have, or it's something just very basic. I can just throw it in a variety of different bags, in a variety of different pouches, and it's really easy to kind of just hand to somebody. This were my favorite for a long time, and they're low-key still are. I also had these Sharpie pens that I replaced with these Muji ones, but these are really cool. You can buy them in packs as well, which is really handy. So that way you're not, you know, spending like $20 on a single pen. So it's really, really cool for that. You can't really go wrong with any of these. Now moving into fountain pens, I like these platinum Preppy colored fountain pens. My stationery store, Semantics, sells a bunch of these, and I really like these just because they're cheap, and two, you can just have like multitude of them without having to like change ink. And the cartridges, like obviously like they just use like Pilot cartridges that you can kind of just interchange. So they're very inexpensive, very accessible, they're very friendly. If you're giving these to like somebody who is kind of just getting into it and they want something that's different color, but they also want a fountain pen that's different color, these are really good. I used to have a red one, but it kind of broke. These do have like a plastic shell. I guess like a lot of these are like plastic shell, but like this one feels more plasticky to me than any of the other ones. So that's probably why the other red one broke that I don't have anymore. But they're really handy. Again, inexpensive. You can kind of toss them, or maybe not toss them because that one broke. But these are really cool. I like the way that they feel. This one is a fine. Again, the tactile feel on this one is really, really nice. You can really feel it. It doesn't like scratch or like bring up residue. At least it doesn't do that with any of my papers, or from my experience using it. And I like kind of just having a green marker or a green fountain pen just to add more accents to my Hobonichi weeks, or whenever I'm commonplacing or writing a note that I want to stand out. This is really cool without, again, having to change ink cartridges and do a whole bunch of that stuff. This Pilot, I believe it's a Pilot Metropolitan. This was actually my first sort of like big boy fountain pen that I got a long time ago, and I just so happened to keep it in a safe place without it getting damaged. And I do need to clean the nib there, but this fountain pen, again, just feels really, really smooth. If you saw my video of my Supernut Nomad, the pen that I have for that e-ink tablet resembles this pen a lot, which, again, it feels really nice. This one is a fine, I believe. I lied, this is a medium. That makes a lot more sense now. You're gonna see through the video that I love medium fountain pen nibs, but this has been really good. Again, just like Pilot, Japan as a whole makes Really, really cool stuff. So, I mean, I've had this for at least 7 years, I would say. 7 to like 6 years, and it's still in a really good condition. I think like all of these pens should last you a lifetime if you take care of them. And this pouch is really cool. So you can buy other pouches, you can have other cases. This pen, but like I said, I believe is a Metropolitan. I think they're like about 40, maybe 30 bucks. Again, more on the, you know, like you after like $10 or so, like I would say like you're probably kind of considering like one or two of these, unless you're like me and you have like a variety of different ones. There's this other medium fountain pen that I got at Gen Con, actually, believe it or not. There's this guy that was making like handcrafted fountain pens from like a variety of different types of wood. And obviously this is a fountain pen kit. You can make your own, but the wood he was using is very specific. I believe this is Ebony, and then this is Parota, I believe. This is wood you can find in Mexico, and that really called out to me because I'm Mexican, if you didn't know that. I'm pretty sure this is a medium point. This uses Pilot ink as well, which is pretty cool. So again, nothing too crazy, nothing super fancy, but the wood itself is really fancy. This looks really cool. So I kind of just tend to keep this on my desk. It's here just for the sake of, you know, not scratching it or messing up with the wood. But it's really cool. It's really solid. I like the magnetic nib right here. That feels really good. So that's one of my favorite pens. I kind of keep it. I write on it. It does have a different feel than this Pilot pen that I have, than this Metropolitan. So again, it's really interesting to me. Now for my favorite pens that just got dethroned. Actually, it's still one of my favorite pens. When I went to Toronto for a work trip, maybe 2 years ago, I got introduced to the Lamy Safari pens. Well, I had already seen them. I knew I wanted to get one, but I was looking for this clear one in particular. So I was on the hunt for stationery stores, and I found one. This has been my go-to for the last year and a half or so. I love the Lamy line. They're just, again, they're somewhat inexpensive. You know, you're not gonna have 30 of them or 10 of them, similar to these Platinum Preppy pens. But I have at least 3 of these with different types of ink inside of them. This one is a fine nib. I like the fine Lamy nibs. Again, they're very comfortable. They're very light. When it comes to this, it uses the Lamy ink cartridges, of course. They always come with the blue, so I had to change them. They have different varieties of nib sizes as well. These are easy to kind of just throw in a bag, put them in my pocket. Again, put them with my journals, just because they're relatively cheap, and these are really cool. I just really like the style of this clear one, and you're going to see a theme here in a little bit with the next one. But this one has the Pilot, or not the Pilot, the Lamy cartridge where I can put my own ink on it. And I have this green Hera, dark green ink on it right now. And I think it's really cool the way that it looks. And just because it's clear and it writes green, I really, really love this pen. I am going to keep this pen for as long as I can. This is a medium nib as well. I really love the tactile feel, and yet very, very smooth feel of the Lamy Safaris on the medium nib. One of my 2 newest pens that I got recently as well was this TWSBI, this Eco TWSBI, and this sort of like warning yellow translucent look to it. I wanted to get the marble one, but the marble one just released. I wanted to pick it up from Alice Stationery, but it doesn't make any more sense to pick that one up because I already have this one. These are a little bit more expensive. I believe these are on like the $50 range when it comes to fountain pens. I have this one in the fine. From my experience with the TWSBIs, they tend to be slightly higher of like thickness from what they say they are. So this one's a fine, and it writes not quite like a medium, but maybe like somewhere in between. My wife has the, I think this is the super extra fine. Yes, this is the extra fine in like the brass finish. They also come in like different finishes, and this is kind of like the solid white. They have one that was similar to this in the marble. I got the translucent one. And then there's another one that is a different nib. Which one's this? I haven't written with this one very much, so I'm not quite sure what this one kind of looks like, but let's see. Yeah, this one's pretty cool. I like this one. So yeah, the TWSBIs come in a variety. Like you can get really personalized with them. They have a lot of options. They have a lot of obviously nib sizes. But the reason I went with the TWSBIs or why I wanted to get one is because of just like the insanely huge ink cartridge or the ink capacity that it has. Like you can see right here, it holds a lot of ink. And this one right now, it has the George Orwell 1984 from Warringal. I really like this one. There's actually glitter. I don't know if you can see it there. There's glitter on the ink, and I think my nib's not big enough, large enough to see the glitter through it, or maybe I didn't shake it enough. I do believe this larger size nib for the TWSBI would definitely do that. But I really like this. I got on the fine, like I said. From my experience, it writes a little bit bigger than what it actually is, but not quite to the other side. So this is a fine, and I think it writes slightly more towards the medium, but I like that. I like the feel of it as well, and I really enjoy it. I'm gonna keep using these for a long time, and probably always like keep a color ink on there as well. And now for my newest pen, like the most expensive pen that I have, and this one is my absolute favorite right now. Melissa got one of these as well, but she got it on a fine. And maybe considering in the future getting a fine or switching the nib to a fine. But I got this Pilot Vanishing Point. From all the other pens that I have, they all have caps. This one twists, which is really cool, which is kind of the name, TWSBI. And then the Safari ones have kind of caps. So you always have to take the cap off, put it in the back. Remember to put it back on when you're not writing with it so it doesn't start to get dry. But the cool thing about the Vanishing Point is that it's a capless fountain pen. So what that means is that it has a click, sort of like retraction system. Once you use it, you do your thing, and then you click and it goes back in, which seals the air or anything from drying the nib. So it always keeps itself moisturized. Is that how you say it? The nibs will always be wet and will always be ready to write. And it's really cool. It has an interesting feel because when you're writing, it's obviously like if you look at this other Pilot, you are taking the cap from this, and then it has a grip down here to grab it, right? So different texture, different feel. This one does not, because you're clicking to reveal the nib. This clip stays here at all times. It doesn't come off, it doesn't twist, you don't take it off. So I kind of like it because it kind of gives me some grip to kind of write this way. And it's really interesting. It's really cool. There is a different finish. So like I said, my wife, Melissa, she got the matte black finish. And it does have like a matte texture to it. So if you're not into, if your hands get greasy like mine, this one that's very glossy and very slippery and very shiny when you're writing. Just be careful with that. If you do end up getting something like this or any other pen in this type of finish, you can kind of see it here on this Pilot, because it does slide off, especially like if you're putting some pressure depending on the nib that you have. I would consider, if you're buying a higher end pen, this was around $150. So definitely on the expensive side for a pen. If you are going to buy something like this, I would recommend going to a store. Again, we got this in Chicago from Atlas Stationery, and they have a ton of pens. So if you're in the Midwest and you're looking to get a pen, definitely go to Atlas, because they're very knowledgeable. Shout out Alvin, that kind of just was talking to us about a variety of different really cool, really expensive pens. This is nothing in comparison when it comes to price of what you can find, but for something that's a little bit more on the expensive side for sure, and you're very invested into stationery, you want something personal, you want something that you know you're going to keep for years and years and years to come, something that you can pass down as a family heirloom. Pens like these are really cool because they'll keep a story. They'll last you a lifetime. I saw a video on a guy that had it for like 10 years, and his matte black had patina a lot, and that's really cool. That's what I'm looking forward to doing with this pen. So this is my go-to pen. It has a colored ink. I can't remember what it is, but it's another Wearing Gold brand, and it's red, similar to this one. So this one's a little bit deeper red. This one's a little bit slighter red. I got this on a medium, and it gives me enough of a feel where I can feel the paper, but it still glides very smoothly, because my handwriting is a mixture of cursive and kind of just like standard, script. This is really cool. This is definitely my favorite pen, my most expensive pen, and I keep this on my journal at all times, unless I'm traveling or somewhere and I'm not gonna have my journal. I'll probably put it here. There's also a lot more, like a ton more different pens. Like you have the Kawecos. There's the Kaweco rollerball pen. I don't know what the specific size on this that it is. Some of these, if not all of these pens, have the same sort of like dimensions and size when it comes to kind of just like holding it. If you're looking for something that's smaller, maybe you have a passport, like a traveler's journal that's like passport size, or you have a Paper Republic that's a pocket size, and you want something to kind of fit that aesthetic a little bit more. You don't want to carry like a huge pen. The Kawecos are going to be really good option when it comes to that. And like this one kind of twists a little bit. Just really cool. I really love this. Just like the design and the caps, I like the gold nib. These are really cool. So I don't have one just because they're a little bit too small for my hand, although you can, put the cap here, and it's still relatively small, but it's not going to like bother you. It's like not occupying a lot of space. The Kawecos are really cool, and then obviously like you have other ones like Esterbrook. This is Melissa's that I got for her. Like again, Snoopy branded. You can't really miss it. This one feels really nice. I can't remember how much this one was. This is on a medium. It has a personalized kind of just like quote there. It says "Good grief." I don't know if you can read that, but this one's on the heavier side. I think this is it's definitely heavier than my Vanishing point, I believe, just because it's bigger in size. This cab definitely weighs a ton because of this clip that's really big. But depending on what it is that you're looking for, there's a variety of different options. I mean, there's more pens here on the table that I didn't go into like in detail too, but I kind of wanted just to make this just because I've been really like, obviously I just made like a huge investment on my pens with the TWSBI and the Vanishing Point, and I kind of wanted just to talk about the variety of different options if you're just getting into journaling or you're getting a little bit more serious into journaling and you're probably thinking of like, okay, like maybe I've been writing a lot, I want a different experience, I want to know what's out there. Maybe this kind of helped you. If you're a veteran and you've been journaling for a while and you're like, Miguel, I already know all these pens, then it's just a nice refresher. And I like watching videos of people kind of just talking about their pens and their journals and things like that. And I know you're watching this video, if you stay here this long, you probably do as well. So that's all I have. I'll leave a link for most of these things if I can find them in the description down below. If you guys have any questions, if you guys want to share anything, I would love to know what your favorite pen is. Leave it down in the comments down below. And if you want to see the vlog of us going to Chicago, you can click right here, somewhere over here, the video. Go click on it, go watch that. It was super fun. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.